Good morning, everyone. Shall we start the session? Hello. Shall we start the session? Today I'm going to start with a new module that is a unit number 33 of this main module, this main course. That is a data analysis and the design. So any doubts anyone in the last module that is a programming in Java? Okay, so let's move to the new module. This is the explanation of the module. We can say this is the syllabus of the module. Unit number 33, that is the data analysis and the design. Unit code is this one. Then QCF level 5 is BTEC Higher National and credit value is 15. This is available in front of your screen. What is the main aim? This is to provide the learners with the knowledge and the skills that is used to understand, design, query, and implement the database system. That means this module is basically works on a database system. We have already done with the database management system module. This is related to that module only. That is how to build the database, how to design the database, what is the query for database, and how to implement the database system. So one is understand, then design, query, and implementing the database systems. And this is the brief that is why database is useful for every organization. So database provides the infrastructure to many organizations and also provide the support to the key business applications and information system. That means whenever we are using the database, that means a storage, repository, or the warehouse. So whenever we are storing the information, that may be storing the information at our business, at our organizations, companies, anything. So they are useful for supporting, for providing the business applications. They are fruitful for storing the information. That may be a data dictionary, that may be a data storage, that may be a data flow diagrams, anything that we studied in the last module, or last module in the sense, database management system module. And in this, we are also going to study about what are the various common database system or database model that is used. And what is the main aim of this unit? This is given over here. This is used to provide a knowledge and the understanding of a database system that includes the design principles, practical implementations, as well as the development skills for both the system designer as well as the engineer. Now, what is the main difference between the system designer, or who is the system designer, who is the system engineer? System designer means who is doing the coding. Coding means write the code for the program. That is system designer, or we can say development phase and the testing phase and the designing phase. There are three parts in this one. Development means a coding part. Designing means design the layout of the page. That may be in the ASP, that may be in the HTML, any language that is using. And the development is also taken out by using any language, that may be any programming language, C, C++, Java, PHP, anything. So development, designing, and engineering, or we can say the testing, that is after building the, or after designing the modules, how to test, or what are the various tools, what are the various method that is used to test the application, whether that application is fit for the organization. Yes, this includes three parts: development, designing, and the engineer. And in this module, we are also going to study about the SQL, that is also known as a SQL, structured query language. That is very fruitful, that is very useful to manipulate the data and how they are used for a variety of the tasks, including everything and report writing. And these are the learning outcomes. There are 4 learning outcomes in this module. One is the understand the data models and the database technologies. Data model means same the database model that is used. So understand the data models and the database technologies. Then second learning outcome is be able to design and implement relational database system. So one is a basic, first one is a basic. What are the basic data model? That may be any database that is using. So that is understanding the data models and the database technologies. Then next one is be able to design and implement the relational database system. That means the learning outcome 2 is focus on the relational database system. What is the relational database system? How to use the relational database systems. Then next one is be able to manipulate and query the tools that is used by using the or that is done by using the SQL. So whenever we are going to manipulate and query the or query the language or query the database, that will be done by using the SQL, that is a structured query language. That is the learning outcome 3. And the last part is test and document the relational database systems or the model. That is querying is done, manipulation is done, designing is done, implementation is done. At last, there is a test, that is be able to test and document the relational database system. So these are the 4 learning outcomes of this modules. One is understanding the basic concepts. Then next one is designing and implementing. Next one is how to fetch the data from the database by using the SQL. Last one is testing and document the relational database system. So these are the 4 LOs. One is LO1, LO2, and the LO3-4. Assignment, yes, assignment is also based on these LO outcomes. And the module, we can say the whole PDF is also built on these 4 learning outcomes. And these are the detailed explanation of the learning outcomes. So first part is the understanding the data models and database technologies. In this, what are the various data models? That may be a network data model, that may be a relational database model, that may be a DDL or the DML, anything that is used as a data model. Next part is what are the various approaches that is used in this. That may be a top-down approach, that may be a bottom-up approach. What are the tools and the technologies that is used? Example, the entity analysis, ER diagrams, data flow diagrams, and attribute keys, identifiers, relationship. Then a new development, that may be a dynamic storage. So first one is the data models, then next one is the approach, next one is a new development, that may be a dynamic storage, that may be a data mining, data warehousing, web enabled database application, anything. So there are 3 parts in this first LOs, that is the learning outcome 1. One is the data model, then approaches, the new developments. Next learning outcome, that is be able to design and implement the relational database models or systems. In this again there are 3 parts. One is the design, that includes data types, ER diagrams, constraints, conversion of the logical design to the physical implementations. And next one is the requirements. What are the requirement specification? How to integrate with the legacy system? What are the future requirements? Time scale, cost, that includes a PERT chart as well as a CPM chart. Next one is user interface. That includes the requirement examples, the functionality, reliability, consistency, performance, menu-driven analysis, HCI interface. That depends on the what type of user interface we are using. Either we are using the CUI, that is a character user interface, either we are using the GUI, that is a graphical user interface. And next one is third part is be able to use manipulation and the query language. That includes first part is data manipulations, that includes the visual tools, for example for the database maintenance, inserts, updates, and the amendments. The next one is the queries and the reporting, that includes a query language and the query by example, that is QBE, formatting, functions, formulas, report writing tools. This is the LO3. Then LO4 is last one is be able to test and document relational database systems. That also includes 3 parts. One is the control mechanisms, one is the testing procedures, one is the control procedures or the control mechanisms. So first one includes the TQM, that is the total quality management. Then testing procedures, how to build the test plans or what are the various testing procedures or what are the various testing that will be used. That may be a white box testing, that may be a black box. Then test documentation, organization requirements, user documentation, for example, how to create the pop-ups, help menu, and the hotspots. And based on these LOs, these learning outcome, these are the various assessment criteria for the passing. So this is the basic criteria that is used in the assignment for passing grades or passing criteria. For LO1 there are three parts. LO2 again there are three parts, 2.1, 2.2 and the 2.3. In the same way for LO3 there are three parts, L3.1, 3.2 and 3.3. But for LO4 there are the five parts that starts with the 4.1, then it ends with the 4.5. So this is the module that is also related to the database design concept that we have studied of the level number or level 4 of the BTEC Higher Nationals. So I think brief scenario is clear about the data analysis and design that what we are going to study in this module. So any doubts, anyone? This is a general format. This is a general criteria that we are using for every module. That is, there are multiple LOs, that is the learning outcomes. In this module, there are 4 LOs in the procedure language. For example, there are 3 LOs. That is the LO1, LO2, and the LO3. So we are using the different LOs and start the learning. And after the learning, there is an assignment for these LO outcomes. So let's begin with the module. Let's begin with the PDF of this module. This is the PDF for this module that I will be shared via email. So let's start with the first chapter, that is an overview of the system analysis and the design. So first of all, what is the lesson name? What is the chapter name? That is an overview of the system analysis and the design. That is how to analyze the system and how to design the system. That is the overview. Take overview, how to design the system, how to analyze the system. But before this, one question arises: what is the system? So anyone can define what is the system? You studied about the unit number 17, that is the database design concepts. So anyone can define what is a system? Yes, you can write over the chat also. Yes, very perfect answer, Joseph. It's a grouping of interdependent components. That means whenever we group, whenever we connect interdependent components, that makes for one fruitful system, that is known as a system. For example, if I'm talking about a pen, there are multiple parts. One is a refill, one is a cap, one is the body of the pen. So if I combine multiple parts that is interdependent with each other, that makes that makes the system. So that means whenever the multiple components that are interlinked with each other, when we combine to make the target, to make the requirement of the user fulfilled, that is known as a system. Right. So let's start with this one, that is the overview of the system analysis and the design. First part is the introduction. First part is the objective, then there is the introduction. After the introduction, there is an overview of the system analysis and the design. Then 1.3 is business system concepts, then characteristics of a system, elements of a system, types of a system, system models, categories of information, and summary. After this, there are multiple questions. So these starts for the 1.0, then 1. Go till 1.10. So this is, yes, these are the topics that we are going to study in the chapter number 1. That is the overview of the system analysis and the design. So first part is objective, introduction, overview, business system concepts, characteristics, elements, types, models, and categories. At last, there is a summary of this chapter. So let's begin with the objective. What is the main objective? So main objectives are defining a system that we have already defined. What is a system? So that is a system is a combination of collection of grouping of interdependent component, that is known as system. Then role of computer in the information system. That is, what is the advantage of using the IT, using the computers in the information systems? Then what are the characteristics or the features and the elements of information system? What are the various types of information system and the model? So first is system, then role of the computer in system, features of information system, types of information system, and different types of specialized information system. One is only the information system and the model. One is specialized, that is specialized used for the any organization, that is specific for organization. For example, when we talk about the application software, if I talk about the payroll system, that depends on the organization to organization. In a different school, there are multiple. There is a different payroll system. In an organization, there is a different payroll system. That is application software. In the same way, there is a specialized information system that is built, and that is known as a specialized information system. So this is also one of the objectives. That is, what are the various different types of specialized information system. So let's start with the introduction. Introduction of this. Uh, that says that in business, system analysis and design refers to the process of examining a business condition with the intent of improving it through better procedures and the methods. So that means this is a system. This refers to the process of examining a business condition with the intent of improving it through better procedures and the methods. That is, what are the various better procedures, how to improve the procedure and the method that is used for the system analysis and the design. And system analysis and the design relate to the shaping organizations, improving the performance, and achieving the objectives for profitability and the growth. That means this also relate to the shaping the organization, means how to give the shape to the organization, how to improve the performances and achieve the objectives or the targets for the profitability and the growth. That is the introduction for the businesses, and the main focus, main emphasis on the system in the action, relationship among the subsystems, and the contribution to meeting a common goal. That is, what are the various what are the various contribution, what are the various subsystem that makes the that are used to achieve a common goal or meet a common goal. So organizations that are very complex, that also consist of the interrelated and the interlocking subsystems. So one is the small organization or the businesses. One is a complex system that is used by the organizations that are also related with each other, that is known as the interrelated and the interlocked subsystems. So if there is a change in one system, that may impact the other systems also, because every system is linked with each other in the complex systems. And it also provides a framework for visualizing the organization and the environment factors that operates on a system. Next part is overview of the system analysis and the design. So first we have covered with the introduction and the objectives. Then 1.2 is the overview of the system analysis and the design. So system development may be has a two components, we can say major two components when we develop any system. One is the analysis, one is the design. Analysis includes the requirements of the user, that is how to analyze the requirements of the user and give the priority of the requirement of the user, which requirement has the first priority or the highest priority, then next one, then next one, then next one. Next thing is that we can also divide the requirements of the user into multiple parts. One is we can say the common requirements of the two or the three persons, two or three users. That requirements will be compiled into the one phase, then next phase, then next phase. So we can also group together, we can also give the priority in the analysis phase. Then next is the design phase. Design means not the coding part, that is the development part. Design means designing the analysis part in terms of the diagrams, that may be a flow charts, that may be a DFT diagram, that may be a tree, that is a decision tree. Anything we are representing or anything we have done with the help of the system design, that is used to make the analysis of the design, analysis of the system, that is what we are going to build in the system. So one is analysis, that means analyze the requirements. One is a design, that means representing the information into the pictorial representation, that is a designing phase. So there are two parts in the system development. One is analysis, one is a design. And yes, development is a coding part, but that includes again the two parts. One is the analysis, one is the design. And now look over the screen. This is available in the screen. That system design is a process of planning a new business system or one to replace or complement an existing system. So either we are building a new system, either we are replacing or complement an existing system. For example, if there is a one system that is already available for adding two numbers, that system may be replaced or complement with a new system. Either we are planning for the new business component. These two parts are also covered in the system design. So it's a process of planning a new system or to replace or complement an existing system. But before this planning can be done, we must use or we must understand the old system and determine how the computer can be best used or how computer can be used to make its operations more effectively. That means how the old system that is using the manual system that is not using any computer, so how that system will be used or how that system will be replaced by the new system that is using the computer, that is using the IT. So nothing is new in the old system and the new system, but the major difference in the computers and the IT requirements. The next one is system analysis. So that is a process of gathering and interpreting the facts, diagnose the system or problems, and using the information to recommend the improvement. That is the same concept that we have I have told you right now, that it is a process or system analysis, the process of gathering and interpreting the facts, diagnose the problems, and using the information to recommend the improvement to the system. That means what are the various drawbacks, what are the various loopholes in the system, and how these loopholes are improved so that to make the system or so that the system will be developed efficiently and effectively that will be best suitable for the user. And this is the job of this is the task of the system analyst. There is a system analyst in the organization that makes the analysis and the design. So we have covered with the system analysis and the design. That is the definition of the analysis and the design. So analyze means view the system, gather the information, interpret the information, diagnose the problem if there is any, and using the information to recommend the improvement for the system. And designing means pictorial representation, that means implementing or designing or planning a new business, that is how to design the system, what are the various flow charts, DFDs, decision tree that is used to represent the system. And this is the task of the system analysis. This is one of the example that is used for the stockroom operation of the clothing store, and to make it best operational, to make it best control inventory, and to gain access for this one, we are using the computerized system or we are using the IT in to make the stockroom operations. And before one can design a system to capture the data, update file and produce a report, one needs to know more about the store operation. That means one needs to know about the computer operations, what are the various computer fields that is required for this stock house, what forms are being used to store the information manually, and what forms are used to store the information digitally, that is using the computers. This is only done when you collect all these facts that is required for the system, that is required to determine how and where a computer information system can benefit the users of the system. And this accumulation of the system is known as the system study. System study means studying the system, how system will be better suited for the users, how system will be implemented or how system will be designed in a computerized way by using the IT, by using the digital way, so that it will be best suited or best fit for the organizations, for the end users. After analysis, after the system study, we must proceed all other analysis activities. So first target is study the system, that is system study, that is fruitful, that is beneficial for the users of the computer, and after this proceed with the other analysis activities. And working with the managers and the employees in the organization, system analysis recommend which alternative to adopt based on the which concerns on the suitability or as the suitability of the solution to the particular organization. That means what are the various recommendations, what are the various alternative that is used to or that is adopted to make the concern, to make the suitability of the organization of the solution of a particular organization. And one of the main determinant or one of the main feature in this, one of the main issue is that to make the cost and the benefit analysis. That is, what is the or what are the various costs that is used for making the or for building the system, and what are the benefits that is available after implementing the system. So compare the cost and the benefit, that is known as the cost benefit analysis. So either we are gaining the profit, either we are losing the, or either we are taking the loss. That is the cost benefit analysis. That also the decision of the organization of the managers, owners. And once a decision is made, a plan is developed to implement the recommendations. So a fruitful, we can say the test plan is developed to make the recommendations, how to use the, or what are the various cost and the benefit analysis. And the plan includes all the system design features, such as the new data capture needs, file specifications, operating procedures, equipment, and the personal needs. And the system design is like the blueprint for a building. So whenever we are designing the systems, whenever we are using the system design with the help of the various design tools like the DFDs, that is data flow diagram, decision tree, anything, flow chart that specifies the feature that are to be in the finished products. So if I compile the analysis and the design part in one term, in one word, we can say that analysis specifies what the system should do, and the design specifies or states how to accomplish the objective. Analysis means what and the design means how. What means gathering the information, analyze the information, that is what the system should do, and design means how to accomplish the objective, or how to use the, or how to achieve the target. So one is what the system should do, one is how to achieve that target, that the user of the requirement of the user. And each of these processes is very required, that is a mandatory field for the system development. One is the analysis, one is for the design. And each of these process, or each of the processes mentioned, involve the peoples. That may be a manager, that may be employees that have a good idea about the works, what is going to be done, about the flows, about the problems, about any changes, any upgradation, that may be a technical upgradation, that may be a human upgradations, but what are the new technologies that is required for the organization to make the system more effective or make the new system. So therefore, communication and the dealing with people are very important for the system analyst as well. So very difficult job in the organization is for the system analysis, who is taking care of the upgradations. For example, if there is a new version arises for the Visual Studio, or we can say the C, C++, there are multiple versions that is upgraded for the practical implementations. So that is required for, or that is the main task of the system analyst. So communication and the dealing with the people are very must for the system analysis jobs. Next part is the business system concepts. What are the various concepts? First is the definition of the system. That is we can say that whenever we are grouping multiple interdependent component, that is known as a system. So that means system is defined as an organized relationship among functioning component of the unit. And system exists because it is designed to achieve one or more objective. So the word system is widely used, and it has become fashionable to attach the word system to add a referer, or we can say things or the processes. And when we talk about the exercise system, investment system, delivery system, information system, education system, and so on, one of the best word is the computer system. So system may be any set of the component that function in the interrelated manner for a common usage for a common objective. So term system is derived from the Greek word systema, that means organized relationship among the functioning unit or the components. And the system exists because it is designed to achieve one or more objectives. And we come into the daily contact with the transportation system, telephone system, accounting system, production system, and so on. And when we talk about the business systems, in organization. So system comprises multiple parts, multiple departments that may be interlinked with each other. That is also a system. That may be a production department, that may be a sales department, that may be a personnel department, and the information system. And none of these systems works without each other. That means these all systems are interdependent with each other. So based on this theory, there are three implications of the system concepts. What are the three implications? One is a system must be designed to achieve a predetermined objective. So a system must be used or must be designed to achieve a predetermined objective. Then interrelationship and the interdependence must exist among the components. That is, there are multiple components or there are multiple parts of the system that must be interlinked, that must be interlinked, or we can say they must be interdependent with each other. There's a relationship among these components. So the interrelationships and the interdependence must exist among the components. Then third implication is the objectives of this organization as a whole have higher priority than the objective of its subsystem. So objectives of the organizations as a whole have a higher authority, have a higher priority than the objectives of its subsystem. For example, when we talk about the computerized personal application that must conform to the organization policy on this one, that may be a confident information as well as a security that is using a selected plan. For example, the payroll system that is available to the accounting division on a request. So there are three implications for this system concepts. One is every system have a predetermined objectives. Then every system components is interlinked, interdependent with each other. Then objective of the organization as a whole have a higher priority than the objectives of the subsystems. For example, when we talk about the computerizing personal applications that must conform to the organization's policy on the privacy, security, as well as this is WE, not WI, as well as making the selected data that is, for example, payroll that is available to the accounting division on a request. Next part is what are the various characteristics of a system. So after the definition of a system, that next part is what are the various characteristics that are present in the system that depends on the organization, interaction, interdependence, integration, and a central objective. So definition of a system. Yes, these features are available. These features are come out from the definition of the system. That is the organization, that is the interaction, interdependence, integration, and a central objective.